So many people start their financial journeys on the wrong foot by wasting their money on things that only hold them back from building true wealth, which is going to give them the fun, freedom, and choices they want later in life. While it's definitely fun to start earning and spending some money in our 20s, it's also a really important time to start building wealth and setting up our financial future. So there's an opportunity cost here, and it's important to strike the right balance because one bad purchase can set you back many years. So today, I want to share with you the 5 worst purchases that I think you can make in your 20s, which can be really harmful to your financial future. Number 1 is renting a place that you can't afford. A common trap I see people in their 20s fall into is paying way too much rent for the place they live in. This is generally because they get carried away with having to live in a fancy place in a trendy area, and so they end up using a huge portion of their income just on their rent. A good general rule of thumb is that you shouldn't spend any more than about 30% of your gross monthly income on a month's rent if you can help it. All you should really be paying for when it comes to rent is a place that provides you shelter that is safe, comfortable, and within a reasonable distance to your place of work and essential amenities. Anything beyond that is really an expense that is related to a lifestyle choice or discretionary spending. Trust me, you're going to be much better off if you're not spending a huge amount of your income on rent, because this is going to free up more money for you to save and invest. Maybe consider renting a more modest place in a cheaper area and with an extra roommate to help reduce your expenses on rent. Number 2 is get rich quick schemes. One of the biggest favors you can do for yourself is to avoid get rich quick schemes, which are really just scams and ironically a great way to get broke quick. These are schemes which promise huge returns with minimal time and effort, and they come in many different forms like Ponzi schemes, pump and dump stock tips, and expensive courses which promise amazing results in quick time, but they don't actually deliver any legitimate or proven strategy for building wealth. So please be wary when you see those ads of someone standing next to their Lambo outside their mega mansion saying that they got all of this through their secret investing strategy, which they're going to share with you if you just buy their $15,000 mastermind course. A select few of these people might be the real deal, but for the most of them, the Lambo and the mansion are rented for a day for the purpose of making the ad. They don't actually have any real wealth, and if they do, it's been earned from the course they're selling you rather than the secret investing strategy they're promising to teach you. The reason why these get-rich-quick schemes are so dangerous is because they can be very convincing and very tempting to give a go. When I was in my mid-20s, I almost fell victim to this when I nearly gave a property investing company my life savings because they were promising me that they could buy me 18 properties in the next 10 years, but without showing me how they actually planned to do it. I was drawn in because I was a young man in a hurry who wanted to achieve all of my wealth goals within a few short years. So I had those big dollar signs in my eyes when these people were telling me that I could have all of this if I just gave them my money. I was just very lucky that my family made me aware of the red flags, but I nearly let my ambition and my impatience for wealth get the better of me, which could have set me back so many years. As a general rule, a good way to avoid the get-rich-quick schemes and scams is to not invest your money in anything that you don't understand. If you don't understand it, but you're still interested, that's fine, but just make sure you do your research and ask plenty of questions before diving in. And make sure that they actually answer your questions in a transparent way. If they're not able or willing to provide simple answers to your questions, that's a big red flag. Another red flag I often see is where the spruiker is trying to sell everyone the same investment strategy, no matter what. For me, if they're not taking into account your individual circumstances and objectives and tailoring their advice to you based on that, then it's probably not right for you and it's something to avoid. Think of it like them selling all of their customers the same product off the shelf and telling their customers that it's suitable for them, even though each of them has different needs. Number 3 is instant gratification. I was going to separately include things on this list like buying designer clothing and luxury brands and fancy tech products and upgrades and spending lots of money on luxury travel and fine dining, but they all basically fall under the same umbrella, which is instant gratification. So many people in their 20s spend so much money because of a desire to have everything and to have it now, whether they can afford it or not. This leads to our buy now, pay later culture, which involves taking on credit card debt or short-term loans with insanely high interest rates to buy things that we don't really need. At its core, instant gratification comes from a status game of comparing ourselves to others. This makes us feel like we need to have something to be good enough or to fit in or not miss out. But the thing is, playing the game of instant gratification gives you these short-term dopamine bursts when you buy something nice, but it doesn't give you any lasting satisfaction. This is especially the case when you're getting yourself into debt and ruining your credit score, because all you return to once you come down from that short-term high is a very stressful financial situation, which will prevent you from doing nice things like this in the future. Just remember with luxury goods that you're paying for the brand name, not necessarily the quality. And also remember that it's much better to be truly wealthy than to just look rich. Truly wealthy people generally don't buy this stuff, and that's why they're wealthy. Think about it for a second. If you're truly wealthy and you're satisfied with where you're at in your life, you don't really feel the need to have to let everyone know about how much money you've got or to impress other people with all of your stuff. In my experience, the purchasing of designer and luxury things is more a sign of someone not having any real wealth, because they've most likely wasted their money on this instead of saving and investing it. Number 4 is a new car. Buying a new car is by far one of the easiest and most common ways young people set themselves back absolute years in their financial lives. It's so common for a new car to be one of the first purchases people make in their 20s. It's something that's so normalized that young people just don't really think about it and just see it as something you do once you start earning a little bit of money. Very few people actually stop to think and realize what a significant, unnecessary, and bad financial decision it is. Firstly, new cars lose most of their value within a few years. They probably lose 15 to 20% of their value as soon as you drive them off the lot. Secondly, it's not only the purchase cost that's expensive, but it's the ongoing costs like the higher insurance costs and service and maintenance fees that come with fancy new cars. So it's a large ongoing cost as well as a large upfront cost. Thirdly, if you've used finance to purchase the car, this is the worst case scenario because you're going to be making large interest payments on something that's losing value. And if you want to be wealthy, you need to minimize what you spend on things that go down in value. Fourthly, if you've used finance and you're making these large monthly car payments, this is going to significantly limit your ability to borrow money for more productive things like buying your first home or an investment property. If you need a car, the much better option is to buy a reliable used car with cash. In my opinion, this doesn't just apply to people in their 20s either. I don't think you should ever be buying a brand new car because they're just a waste of money. The trick is not to see a car as a status symbol to impress other people, but just as a mode of transport to get you from point A to point B safely and reliably. Don't let your mind define your identity by what car you drive. Seriously, who cares? Do you judge or value other people based on what car they drive? I don't think you would, so be kind to yourself and don't judge yourself on what car you drive. People can't really tell the difference between new cars and used cars anyway, so don't let it worry you. If you can get over this and just buy used cars, you will just save so much money and free up more possibilities to grow your wealth. Number 5 is FOMO purchases. You might have realized that all of the worst purchases in your 20s that I've just mentioned come from FOMO, or the fear of missing out. FOMO is a comparison mindset where we see other people with a thing. This makes us feel inadequate or dissatisfied with our own lives, and this then leads us to also wanting that thing to fill that void. But the problem is that FOMO doesn't ever really go away, so getting a bunch of stuff is not the answer. The best you can do is to try to manage it by focusing on what's truly important to you, what you're trying to achieve, and what you actually need, rather than comparing yourself to others and letting that dictate your spending behavior. If you have a good handle on FOMO, then you're really setting yourself up for financial success. So that's it from me today, guys. I hope you've learned a thing or two about what to avoid wasting your money on, and let me know in the comments about any other terrible purchases for people in their 20s that you can think of. I'm really interested to see what you guys come up with. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to the channel, and you might want to check out this video on your screen right now, which is all about how your net worth explodes after the first 100K. But thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.